Okay, thank you. All right. So, good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to ICANN case study precinct analysis for May 2024 diet, organized by Network Professional Academy. And yes, so the much expected precinct part of the paper is here with us. And there is need for us to make good use of the material before the exam. Okay, so someone requested we wait for about 30 minutes. Unfortunately, we might not be able to do that. However, there will be the class is being recorded. Okay, so we'll try as much as possible to get the recording available after the possibly immediately after the class. Okay, so we can start because the class might take more than 2 hours to conclude. Right, so we need to start as early as possible. Right, so we have the precinct. So the question becomes, what is the essence of the precinct? Why do we have the precinct? Why are we giving the precinct? Right? Why are we giving the present? So now, if you read this material is issued prior to the examination date to enable candidates familiarize themselves with the case scenario. So the first purpose, the first reason why we have this present is that you as a candidate going into the exam should get yourself familiarized with the case scenario. So how can we be of help as tutors? Yes, you have to know firstly that it is the same level of information that you have there with you is what we have. You also have to understand that we are not part of the examination committee, right? We are not part of the examination team for case study. So we might not be able to tell you what we don't know, what we don't have. However, we can use our experience from past cases, from past exams to guide you on and help you to understand the scenario better, help you to see a possible direction that the scenario could be heading towards, right? So we might not be able to predict, precisely what you will see in the exam, in the unseen part of the case. But the purpose, based on the purpose, which is to familiarize yourself with the case scenario. And one important advantage of doing so is that once you have familiarized yourself with the case scenario, I mean, this is more like 30% part of the case story. So if you have gotten this, if you have read this well, you have understood this before the exam, it means that out of the 1 hour reading time, you would have saved yourself about 20 minutes. So it then means that you do not actually need to now go back in the exam to start reading the precinct again. So you should rather go to the unseen, read the unseen maybe 2 times, then read everything together at once. Then you should start your analysis and report writing, right? So once you familiarize yourself, what do you need to do? The first thing you can do is to undertake any research. Please, noise is coming from somewhere. Please help us to mute yourself. Once you come in, kindly mute yourself so that there won't be any form of distraction. Okay? You can see now, because of the noise I'm hearing now, I am distracted already. Mfoniso. Oh, okay. I think I can move this person from here. Yes. Okay. So you should undertake any research possible. That's one other thing you should do. I mean, that's one other thing that can help you to familiarize yourself with the case. Undertake research. So in the past, we used to have some cases, complaints in the case, whereby they are real life complaints, and as such, by this time we would have seen so many write-ups about the complaint flying up and down, right? So that is in the past. Fortunately fortunately, we might not the clients in this case might not be a real life client or complaint. However, the case is is very similar to the case we had in May 2019. And the similarity include that the case in May 2019, we had the Spicy restaurant then, which operates in the hospitality industry. Okay. And for this, we have Spicy Confectionery Limited, which also operates in the hospitality industry. I mean, what I'm saying is that this similarity could help us to 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 predict possibly the direction the case could be going. It could help to predict the possible direction the case could be going. So the thing now is, so Mr. Oladokun, we share some of the things in May 2019 with you, so that you can see the similarities. I mean, it will help in research and understanding the scenario better. And the last purpose or reason for present analysis is for you to undertake any analysis you think fit. Okay. So the analysis could come in form of ratio analysis, you computing some ratios, do some trend analysis, and see and interpret these ratios, so that you can have a fair understanding of the financial performance and position of the business. Okay. And I think Mr. Paul will help in that regard. I think he has prepared some ratios that he will discuss with you. Okay. So that is the purpose of the pricing. So myself, so I've told you what Mr. Isaac will be doing, what Mr. Paul will be doing. So myself, we help you in we help you to I mean, we help in the discussion of the case. So we discuss the case together. We have 4 exhibits in the case. So the plan is that we read each of these exhibits one after the other. So by doing so, I want to implore you all that while someone is reading, I want all of you, every other person, to be taking notes. You can take notes. So from the notes after the reading, I expect that you all should make contributions, and this is the reason for the contributions. I don't want to share all my perspectives about the case, because I have just limited information right now. Meanwhile, you are the person that will go into the exam, and what you feel about the case is most important, right? Is most important. So I want you to share your side. I want to, as much as possible, um I want as many of you to share your perspective about what part of the precinct we are reading, maybe exhibit one. So by doing so, others will pick from it. So while you pick from it, that will serve as the basis that will help you to understand the scenario more better. So you will pick your side, because this exam is individual exam. you cannot be writing what Mr. A is writing. You cannot be doing analysis of Mr. B. So it depends on your own perspective. Your own perspective will be what will guide you in the exam. So I mean, of course, if you only hear my perspective, that's just a very the perspective of just one person. In fact, it was during some other analysis I've done with some students that I got to understand some other things, right? So you can see now. So my own perspective might be limited, right? So I want you to share your perspective. So after the reading of a particular exhibit, then I give one, two, or three persons to share their perspectives. Then I had mine. Then other lecturers would could add theirs too, right? So we do this from exhibit one, two, three, and four, right? After then Mr. Paul will come in, do some analysis with you, followed by Mr. Isaac. That is the plan for the precinct analysis tonight. Okay, so let's go right into the into the uh into the first exhibit. We have just four exhibits with us. So let's go right into the first exhibit. So I would like one person to read from the class. I would like one person to read from the I mean, we have done this before in the class, so it's just the same thing. So someone should read for us. I can call someone. Oh, Grace, please read for us. Grace, are you there? Unmute yourself and read for us. Oh.
Yeah. About you, John Adeshwale, and your employer, Osayeme Adelowo Chukura and Co. You are John Adeshola, writing the professional level icon examination. You are employed as a trainee in the firm of Osayeme Adelowo Chukura and Co. Chartered Accountants. You are reporting to Julius Idemudia, partner in charge of the hospitality group within the firm. Your responsibilities include preparing detailed financial analysis and reports on the performance of the firm's hospitality clients, analyzing your client's financial statement to identify areas of weakness and provide likely solutions to correct the abnormalities. 3, assessing operational and strategic business proposal to see how each aligns with the client's objectives and its impact on its business and financial risk. Assessing the client's financial and business forecast together with assumptions upon which they are based to form judgments, conclusions, recommendations to clients. Advising your clients on their strengths, on their strategic task planning strategies for optimal tax liabilities, and drafting reports for your boss based on the operational and strategic business analysis you have carried out. These responsibilities demand that you keep yourself abreast with the development in the accounting and taxation space and the hospitality industry, both nationally and internationally, to be able to carry out the above tasks effectively.
All right.
I'm done.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So that is exhibit one. That is exhibit one. So I will give room for contribution from two to three persons. It could be more. Depends on the number of persons we have. All right. Who is going first? Who is going first? You can raise up your hand so that I can call you. Who is going first? So yeah, so that so that we don't waste so much time. All right. I think Akpan, go on.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear
Good
me?
evening. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Good evening.
Okay, I'm just going to talk about the first paragraph. Okay, from the case, what I understand is John Adesola is reporting on behalf
Adeshola.
of Adeshola. Oh, sorry, is reporting on behalf of Osayeme Adelowo as a trainee from this. So he's reporting to the hospitality group. So the whole to Julius Idumodia, the partner in charge of the hospitality group. So that signifies an external report from my understanding, because it's not to the same firm, it's to the hospitality group outside of the firm. So yes, that's my own contribution.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Akpan. God bless you for that fantastic contribution. Any other person? Any other person? Any other person?
Good evening. Good evening to all.
Semiu. Thank
Yes,
you.
Aremu.
Good evening. You are
Yeah.
welcome.
And as you can see, that it's an external report,
Okay.
and John Olushola is the person
John
that is
Adeshola.
writing the report. John Adesola
Okay.
is the person that is writing the report on behalf of the firm Osayeme Adelowo and Co.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not with the material. That's why I'm just
Osayeme Adelowo Shukura and Co.
Shukura. So is the client, is the firm that is writing the report to the company.
Okay.
And the responsibility has been split out to prepare detailed financial analysis and report on the performance of the client. So that's what I can say there, sir.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you for that. God bless you. Any other person? Any other person? Any other person? Any other person? Okay. So that we don't waste so much time. Okay. Tutors, Mr. Isaac, and Mr. Paul, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. You are welcome, sir.
Please, am I audible?
Yes, yes. We
Okay.
can hear you loud and clear. I
Okay,
want to believe
so
others can hear
they've
you
said
too.
it all. They've said it all, but we need to take cognizance of the fact that you are John Adeshola. So when you are writing a report, you are expected to write John Adeshola, not your real name. That's the only observation. Thank you.
Okay, sir. All right. Thank you, sir. Mr. Paul. Mr. Paul.
Yes, can you hear me, please?
Yes, yes. We can hear
Okay.
you.
All right. So another thing that the students need to take note of is when you are writing the report, you assume the position of John Adeshola, just like my colleague said. So you are not writing as someone that, as if they gave you someone else's report to write. You are writing as the person that his name appeared there. So assume the position of John Adeshola and then carry out every responsibility that is specified in the case. That's all I can say for now.
Oh, all right, all right. Thank you so much for that contribution. So, yes, you have all said it. You have all said fantastically, and I believe we can just do more in on the contributions. Okay. So from the first paragraph, it means that yes, you as an individual we take on the character of John Adeshola, which means that you are directly reporting to whom? To Julius Udemundia. And in reality, in practice, what would have happened is that this job will likely be delegated. Right. Okay, let me start from here. So it seems as if that there are many partners in this Osayeme, Adilewo, Shukura. We can say it might be just 3 or 4 of them who come together to form this firm, right? And what we would have seen in reality is that this Julius has experience, is an expert in the hospitality group. The other partner could be an expert in oil and gas. The other expert could be an expert in maybe any other industry, right? So this job that is coming, this particular report or analysis is is from hospitality industry, and as such, because this is Julius is the one who has the experience in that industry, it will be given to Julius. Julius is in charge. And Julius, because Julius is that partner that is in charge of this job, fortunately for you, you are working under Julius, right? So Julius will, in reality, delegate this report to you, John Adeshola. And after writing the report, your draft will be sent to Julius. Julius will make certain few corrections, give it back to you to go and do to effect the correction. You report back to him, he makes some other correction, and I mean that's what happens in reality. At the end of the day, the final draft will be ready. So it is that final draft that Julius will now take to his other partners that they will review together, right? So after reviewing the final draft, then they have a final report. So that final report is what will be sent to the client. I mean, that is what makes these reports an external report. So that is that. Then the first thing is that you will be preparing detailed financial analysis, which implies that it is possible that, I mean, there is that high probability that you will be doing financial statement analysis in this exam. Then the question becomes, what and what should I expect in that regard? Right now, the following responsibility states it clearly that in the analysis you'll be doing for your client, your job will be to do what? To identify areas of weakness. Areas of weakness. Now, the reason why we have to stress this point is that this class, none of our students should go and make any mistake that because someone has said areas of weakness, the person will start thinking that that means we are doing business analysis where you will do SWOT analysis. This does not imply SWOT analysis. This only means that if there are poor ratios, if some ratios are poor, are bad, are low, are declining, those are areas of weakness. And you should do what? You should profile what? Likely solutions to correct the what? The anomalies. Okay. Then the other thing is assessing operational and strategic business proposals. Yes. So I think I've said this in the class sometimes ago that proposals for complaints come in different forms, could come in different forms. It will come internally. A proposal could come internally, whereby the directors or the management team make a decision that okay, there is need to start a new to invest in a new branch or division of the company, right? That is a proposal, and and budget will be made for that proposal, followed by implementation of the budget. In any case, if that be the case, that means there will be need for an evaluation of such proposal to see whether it will be viable, or not. Right, from my experience of project appraisal, if it is viable, we accept. If it is not viable, we what? We reject. Okay, so that is one way. Internal proposal. It could also come in form of need for investment in plants and machinery. Right, the company might want to invest in plants and machinery. Right, so that is another form of proposal. The other form of proposal is when a major customer of the client is bringing a proposal to the company. Say that the customer is saying that, okay, we want you to supply us certain number of units of a particular product at a particular price per unit, right? That is a proposal. So it is then left for the company, or for you as an analyst for the company, to now see if the cost of production plus the margin for profit is will yield profit when compared to the what the customer has proposed, right? So that's another form of proposal. So we should take note of this. So we don't know I mean, later on in this precinct, we might see whether there's we might see a proposal or not. We don't know. But in any case, my own view is that there is, because there is this high chance that we might be doing financial data analysis, I mean project appraisal, or evaluation of a particular proposal. Maybe you have to do some form of contribution analysis or profitability analysis on a particular proposal that is coming from a major customer. I mean, this is just my view based on what I'm saying here, right? This might be wrong, this might be right. I mean, the ultimate thing is what we see in the unseen, what the requirement is on the unseen. But from here now, that is what I feel, that is what I can see, right? And of course, we want to see if it is profitable, if it meets the client's objective, which is profitability, and its impact on its business as well as financial risk. Okay, then assessing the client financial and business forecast together with assumptions. So if there is forecast, you might as well be asked to assess the forecast. I mean, maybe you should look at variance between the forecast and the actual performance of the business. And lastly, second to the last, we have advising your clients on strategic tax planning strategies for optimal tax liability. So this is another dimension in this diet. So last diet, the dimension was, why I'm saying this is that the whole of these responsibilities is almost the same with what we have been getting since November 2019, when we started this new syllabus. But last diet, what the dimension that came with last diet was sustainability reporting, right? Sustainability reporting. So this diet now, we can see that there's possibility of testing your tax planning knowledge. There's possibility of testing your tax planning knowledge. Possibly there are certain strategic plans as regards the taxation of the company. So there are some things they might be doing in terms of their tax that might be wrong, right? That, and you might need to help them to see the positive and the negative side of it, thereby advising them on the right thing to be done. There might also be that need for you to help them to compute their correct tax liability and advise them on what to do. Okay, you might have to advise them on what to do. So I want to believe that each and every one of you here present, I mean, writing this case study, is also planning to write taxation, or you have passed taxation. So I mean, this should be a plus for you. Okay, then lastly, drafting report for your boss. based on the operational and strategic business analysis that you have carried out. So you see, you draft the report to him, there will be back and forth. I mean, in reality, that is what would have happened. And at the end of the day, the final report, we assume you are sending the final report, so there's no back and forth in the exam. We just assume that the report you are sending is the final report. And it's also said that these responsibilities above demand that you keep yourself aware, informed, abreast with the development in accounting and taxation space, and the hospitality industry. So again, there may be need for you to make some correction to some accounting and tax related issues. And you should also take note of what is happening in the hospitality industry, both nationally and internationally. So this is my own take on the on this exhibit one. On this exhibit one. Um, any question on exhibit one? Any question? I will entertain just two questions. Just two questions on exhibit one. If there is none, we can move to exhibit two. No question. Thank you. All right. So let's move to exhibit two.
Sorry. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Okay, I have a little one question to ask you. My thought, okay, you were talking, you made mention of a financial statement analysis, right? And financial data analysis. Is it possible that in requirements, we really don't know whether the both requirements are in this responsibility right now? So is it possible that, okay, for instance, this is not actually the requirements, that we could have two analyses like financial data and financial statements in one requirement? That's my question, please.
Please come again with that question.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that we've been given, you've analyzed this exhibit one for us, giving us the clue that it could be is actually a financial statement analysis, right? Okay. And on the other side, when you were talking about investment appraisal using financial data analysis, my question is that, okay, we really don't know the requirements right now because we are not seeing where the money is coming from. Okay. Assuming this is actually where our responsibility is it possible for one requirement to have two analysis to solve under, like that financial statement analysis and that financial data using investment appraisal? That's my question.
Okay, thank you for that question. So it is highly possible. It is very, very possible that, say, requirement one could test financial statement analysis plus financial data analysis, and requirement two could test maybe business analysis. That is possible. That is very, very possible. That is possible. Okay, I hope I've answered your question. Have I answered your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Prosper Amaka. Oh yeah, go on. Unmute yourself. What's your question?
Good evening, sir. So I
Good
want to
evening.
ask, considering that this John Adesola is writing on behalf of his firm, is he addressing the letter in his name or in the name of the firm he's writing for?
You should address the name of in the name of the firm. You should address the letter in the name of the firm. You should assume that he is writing on behalf of the firm.
Yes,
Okay? Yes, you should assume. You should assume that. However, if there is a better way you feel you could write it, okay? Yes, you can go ahead to write it in the better way you think you should write it.
Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. Okay. Any other question? No question. Okay. I think we can then move to exhibit number 2. We can move to exhibit number 2. So someone should read for us. Um, um, Bolawon, can you please read for us? Ojo Bolawon. Are you there? Ojo Bolawon, can you please read for us? Okay, if Ojo is not reading, um, Bambi, can you please read for us? Or someone can then volunteer if those I'm calling are not ready to read. Let someone volunteer to read for us then. Oh. If no one is reading, then I will read myself. Okay, exhibit 2. Spicy Confectionaries Limited. History, business structure, strategies, and model. Spicy please, you will pardon my own reading style. It might not. I read as if I'm talking to you. Yes. Spicy Confectionery Limited was formed in 2010. It manufactures and sells top quality confectionery. For many years now, Spicy, as it is widely known, has been recognized as a successful company and has then become a household name, particularly in Abuja and Lagos. Spice's fame is built on the very high quality confectionery product it sells through its own stores that are strategically located in both cities of what? Of Lagos and Abuja. Some of these stores are operated from Spice's own building, as well as uh, 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 some leased properties. Spicy has its factory in Lagos, from where the business originally started. The products are distributed through a multi-channel network comprising of Spicy's own stores and online business, franchises, and retail partners. In addition, Spicy has now started to supply confectionery to large retail stores and supermarkets on contract basis. These stores sell Spicy's products and also own brand label confectionery that Spicy usually manufacture for them. Spicy product range include a wide variety of milk, white, and plain chocolate products. Previously, Spice's main sales had been chocolate products, but now the company has expanded into producing other forms of confectionery which do not contain chocolate in any form. For example, cakes and other sweets such as candies. Spice's customers continue to have strong regard for the kind of quality, for the top quality of its product, or for the quality of its products rather. Spice's customers vary from individuals to corporate clients, which purchase Spice's products to present to their own clients as corporate gifts. Although individual customers do buy from Spice's stores, franchises, or online, but corporate clients usually purchase goods directly from Spicy on contract basis. Business structure. Spicy has a simple business structure. It has a head office, which usually include the management services function, and two divisions, which are customer sales and distributions and manufacturing and supply. This division operates as follows. The customer sales and distribution. The customer sales and distribution sells and distributes Spice's product through the following outlets. One, Spice's own stores, franchises, as well as online sales. Manufacturing and supplies division. All purchasing of manufacturing supplies and the actual products product manufacturing take place at the manufacturing and supplies division. The division then supplies this product internally and externally as follows. Internally to its customer sales department for its sales through its own stores, and externally to corporate clients, external retail stores and supermarket which sell spicy products under Spices brand name and also under their own stores own special brand names. Both divisions are operated as investment centers with limited capital investment authority for expenditure up to 10 million per annum. Major capital investment above 10 million have to be authorized by head office. The CSD does not allow any of its outlets to make any capital investment at all without its prior approval. Each of the CSD stores is regarded as a profit center, including online sales, which is a single profit center in its own right. Brand development is carried out jointly by both divisions. Any brand development cost, such as promotion above 1 million, must be approved at the head office. Spicy currently has about 30 of its own stores and also 20 franchises. It also has developed its own website, which has become very popular and has enabled Spicy's business to grow. In addition, as e-business has become more popular, especially from the time of COVID, Spicy has been able to develop its online sales business and has introduced click and collect services using its stores and franchise stores as the collection points. Business growth strategy. Spicy's current strategy to continue to achieve development and growth of its business are predicated on two strategic objectives, which are to one, expand Spicy's range of customers through the development of Spicy's markets and products through a wide variety of sales and distribution channels. The focus of this is on the delivery of products that the customer demands, where they are required and when they are wanted. And two, to enhance the customer's experience through strong and effective customer relationship management. The focus of this strategy is on clear and consistent branding and marketing in order to encourage customer loyalty as well as retention of all year round. Vision. Spicy's vision. Spicy's vision is stated on the company's website as follows: to be a leading, innovative, and customer responsive company that constantly strives to create value, which is shared between the shareholders and other stakeholders. Mission. Spicy's mission is to be the leading confectionery manufacturer in the country with a continuous growth in market share by adding new products to a products portfolio regularly. Culture. The company recruits people that are top rated in their various disciplines, that have something to offer the company, and the company is willing to pay top of the range salaries to the right person. The company maintains a culture of openness and freedom and allow any of its staff to come up with novel ideas that can be translated into value creation. Technology is also at the heart of company's business process, and it is constant and Spicy constantly invests in new technology that is seen to further improve the company's value creation process. The company is technology driven and it has developed technology in virtually all areas of company's business process. The company also have a research laboratory where food scientists and technologists are constantly working together to create new products and improve existing products and processes. Scientific discoveries are constantly being evaluated in company's laboratory with the sole aim of converting such discoveries into commercially viable product business model. Spices recognizes that one of its critical success factor is that the value created by the company must be shared or is to be shared among its various stakeholders, that is shareholders, employees, customers, consumers, and the communities. The company therefore incorporates responsibility and sustainability into all aspects of its business management, making long-term investments that are aimed at building value over time, sustainability, and corporate social responsibility. Spicy always strive to carry out his business operations in the most sustainable and environmentally friendly and in a fair manner with regard to all his stakeholders. It makes sure that each of his suppliers adheres to high ethical and sustainability practices with regard to sources of materials and treatment of employees. Spicy sources cocoa from the southwestern part of Nigeria. Spicy has initiated schemes to encourage sustainable farming of cocoa, and farmers are being trained in effective agricultural methods. The introduction of approved cocoa production certification program has enabled farmers to achieve higher levels of income from increased production and to access additional training directed at improving their production yields. Spicy then ensures that each of its product label contain only the ingredients that are used in the production. Also, the packaging shows nutritional content and gives advice on recommended volumes of consumption. Spices product packaging are normally recyclable and kept as minimal as possible in order to protect the environment in which it operates. Green energy source has been introduced in the spices factory, which has reduced consumption of electricity and greenhouse emissions. Spices also introduced annual independent health and safety audits in its factory and retail outlets. All factory staff are required to undertake food safety and net safety training in the workplace at required industry standard level. Workplace, workplace benefits such as pension, medical insurance, and staff discounts are offered to all Spices employees. And that is the end of exhibit number 2. So I will give contribution. I will allow contribution from 2, maybe 3 participants. Okay. All right. Time for contribution.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, I want to make my contribution.
Okay. Go on.
In SCB 2, first paragraph, they gave us the location of the business of that company, Spices Confectionery Limited. They gave us the location that is located in Lagos and also in Abuja. And also, they give us in that paragraph 2, they make us to understand about the customer of our client, and he has a contract with both large retail stores and supermarkets. So there is a contract there. In paragraph 3, they give us the products that Spices have, different one. In paragraph 4, it's also talk about the customer confidence, that Spices have a good customer relationship, and the customer, they have confidence in its products. The latter part of it, they make us to understand that SCL have outlets. It has outlets, both online, franchise, and its own store. The other place under the manufacturing and supply, They make us to understand. They give us is a capital investment business. Let me say business proposal here. So also they make us to understand that there's business proposal.
How? What do you mean by business proposal? I mean business capital investment.
I mean the capital investment. He opened
What do you
another.
mean
They
by
said
that?
both division are operate as investment center. He has another investment center. That's what I mean. That in the other center, it's also a business. I don't know how to put this one. If you can see there, they say you have a major capital investment, and also you have another investment in the branches. That's what I mean, sir.
Okay, I think I have to comment there. So, from that
Okay, sir.
paragraph, they said both divisions, that is, the distribution and manufacturing division, they are operated as investment centers.
Center.
They are
Yes, sir.
operated as investment centers with limited capital investment authority for expenditure up to 10 million per annum. Right? Major capital investment above 10 million have to be authorized by head office. I mean, from your comment, I think you are
Yes,
saying
sir.
that this is more like investment that you have to appraise.
Yes, sir.
No, that is not. They are only
No,
telling
no, no.
you
I
that.
don't think so.
Okay, sir. Okay, the other
So
one.
they are only making comment that that there is control in place for investment to be made before any investment could be made in any of these centers. So it
Okay.
have to be authorized. So it's not that this is what we appraise. No, this is not.
Okay. So I
mean,
want to also talk about the sustainability. The company have good CSR, corporate social responsibility. Lastly, okay. Also, they make us to understand that he source for his raw materials from the southwestern part of Nigeria, and he have good raw materials, and he also have a good relationship with his supplier. I mean the farmer. Also, second to the last paragraph, talking about the packaging, the way he package
okay,
is.
thank you for your contribution. Any other contribution?
Let me. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. I can hear you.
Okay. At this exhibit, I can say the exhibit focus on sustainability of the complaint, how the complaint is impacting its society, its environment, and its and its its environment and society. So this is what sustainability talk about, how you are able to manage your customers and how you are able to generate your raw materials and how you have been able to tell your customer how to manage they also talk about recycling their products. So it's this exhibit focus more on sustainability report that there is a tendency that may ask us to write something about sustainability reports in this sustainability in this the advantage of sustainability what the company should do and how companies should manage their environment and social responsibility. And also they talk about the business structure, the business model of this company, how they have branches and how they were able to maintain good internal control and they were able to optimize their branches. But like talking about the 10 million investment, that any investment above so amount of 10 million, they have to get approval from head office. It shows that the company have a good structure. They are able to, they are managing their branches very well. But basically, they are focusing on. I think they are focusing on sustainability report in this exhibit.
Okay. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you so much. Any other contribution? Any other contribution from the students? Any other contribution from the students? None. Oh, okay. So, tutors, Mr. Isaac, you have anything to add to this exhibit too?
My only observation is there is every tendency we shouldn't be too carried away with so much stories, because some of those stories may not be really relevant to their requirements. So it's expected that you first read what they require from you, familiarize yourself with this one we are reading. You don't need to read it again, as Mr. Juma has earlier said. So you shouldn't be too carried away with so much stories. So, and there's every tendency for investment appraiser, based on what I'm seeing both division are expected to operate as investment. So they may test investment appraiser or payback period or something very similar to that. They may not repeat what we did in 2019, what they did in 2019, so to say. So fine, the case is very similar, but it may not be the same thing. Though sustainability reporting is coming, I think probably it may come. Let's say I'm 75% sure of that. Then investment appraisal too, such as payback period, all those small investment appraisal you did in a skill level. So those are the only contribution I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Um, Mr. Paul, Mr. Paul, you have
Yes,
anything
sir.
to add?
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
yes, I do. All right. So there are two things I want to talk about. The first is the business model. So this exhibit specifies how Spicy creates value and how the value is shared to the different stakeholders. That's the shareholders, the employees, customers, and the community. So the students, I'm talking to the students now, you may want to revise your value chain. Yeah, that's your CSME. You may need to look at it in case they decide to throw it at that end, you have something to write. And then about sustainability, it's not just talking about sustainability, but no IFRS 1 and S2, because if they want to test it, they will link it to IFRS 1 and S2, because those are the two standards that that has to do with sustainability in corporate reporting. So if at all they want to test it, it will be linked to one of those two. So you need to know what the standard says and what, of course, this company is operating sustainably, but you need to know what the standard says and then what the requirement is saying. Then you now be able to know how to blend it and then answer the question. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that fantastic contribution. Thank you. So, um, I just have a one or two comments to make before I add my contribution. So the first person that contributed was merely uh, reading the case again, right? And that is what it means to me, right? So, for instance, you wanted to you were stressing on the company operates in Abuja and Lagos. So my expectation was, what could be the implication of that? I mean, what could be the implication of this location where the business operates in this case? What I mean, the purpose of this class is learn, is to understand better. And for the fact that the class the class made me to read the case. In fact, I'm supposed to stop making my comments now. I'm just supposed to stop, because by reading you make me to expend energy, right? And you are supposed to read so that when you read I can think of what to say, but you made me to read, right? And you are not adding anything to the class. This class is not about the lecturers come, they tell you too many things. No, it's not about that. And I've said it from the beginning. So when you want to make, please make comments. I'm not trying to pull your comments down, pull your contributions down. Fine, you are even trying. But what about those that are not making any comments, right? But I want insightful contributions. So when you say, fine, what I'm sensing is you feel that there's something as to regards this location. And the thing could be that they said that this company operates in Abuja and Lagos. Any company that operates in Abuja, I want to believe with a sense of reasoning that that business that business that business is targeting the wealthy people. That is what I want to believe. That is my insight from that. And possibly in Lagos. Fine, in Lagos. It could be, except we are not told which part of Lagos. It could be Ikeja, or maybe the Lekki axis. Okay? It could be the Lekki axis. So my insight is that they are likely selling to the high class people, and as such, their market share might be limited. Okay, the market share might be limited because what's the percentage of the high class in the country population? So, and the largest population is the lower class, the middle class, followed by the middle class. So it could be that we might come to see that the company is not selling as much as it should be doing. So we might then have to advise them. Maybe you should look at some products that the lower class people will buy, that the middle class people will buy, so that you don't just focus on only the upper class people. Okay. And they also said that its fame is built on the very high quality confectionery products. Now this also backs my that position I talked about the other time. Is selling very high quality confectionery product. It also means that the lower class people might not be able to afford the high quality confectionery product. They might not be able to afford it. They might not. So again, it means that it could be that the company is only focusing on the high class individuals in the country. So they also said that the okay, so that's my own position about that first paragraph. So they said that these products, spices products, are distributed through a multi-channel network. Hey, it means that I'm just reading meaning to the information they have given to us. It means that when spices produces, when the company produces its confectionery product, it has different ways of distributing the product. One, it could distribute it through its own stores. It could distribute it through its own source. Through its own stores and online business. So you will see that later on they said that Spicy has about 30 stores in Lagos and Abuja. It means that Spicy has about 15 in Lagos, 15 in Abuja. right? It means if it produces, it will distribute very quickly and people can buy, right? And through its online business. So Spices can also do some adverts to drive traffic to his online store. Then so many people, so many Nigerians could just click and order and buy the confectionery product. I mean, the idea is that this, I mean, what I'm sensing is that they are trying to tell us that Spicy should be selling. I mean, it's actually selling. It's selling so much. Spicy is selling so much. And they also said that it also distributes to its franchises, about 20 franchises, about 20 of them, about 20 of these franchises. So many people who come who have franchise arrangements with Spicy, they also distribute to them. Oh, yeah, sell for us. So, okay. Then retail partners. Who are these retail partners? The Adidas, the ShopRite, all these hypermarket, supermarkets, and all that. They also distribute to them so that they can sell. So Spicy is selling so much. Fine, that is okay. We love Spicy to be spending. Okay. However, they now say that fortunately for Spicy, when Spicy just commenced selling to what? To retail stores and supermarkets. On what? On contract basis. On contract basis. I mean, the simple interpretation I can give to this is that Spicy gets these contracts from Adidas, ShopRite, and all these super and hypermarkets. That okay, Spicy, we want you to supply us black and white confectionery candy. Black and white confectionery candy. Just supply us. Maybe Spicy is not even producing that. Maybe some other yes, maybe Spicy is not having that. Maybe that is their own brand. I mean, that is their own recognized. I mean, uh, the brand that is recognized by the product that is recognized by, let's say, Adidas. That is what Adide want, the black and white candy something. I'm just making an example, right? So they give them contract. Produce 1,000 of chocolate, this 1,000 of this, 10,000 of this, and all that. They bring contract, right? In any case, this means that this means that I mean, we can also link this to the responsibility I mean I read earlier. I interpreted earlier that it could mean that contracts could come. This is a possibility. A contract could come from any of these supermarkets, maybe one or two of them, right? And you might be asked to evaluate this contract. Okay, okay, right. Then spices, right? I'm not interested in this. Then Then they also emphasize on the customers. They said spices customers vary from individuals. So individuals, you and I could request, could order to buy spices product, right? We could order to buy spices product. The wealthy, the middle class, the lower class people, anybody could order to buy, as well as corporate clients. So in addition to the hypermarket and supermarket, some other corporate clients, some companies could also come that they want to buy, they come that they want to buy this, their spices confectionery product, so that they gift it to their own clients or customers. And the good thing is that these corporate clients, they also purchase directly from Spicy on what? On contract basis. On contract basis. I've talked about contract like 2, 3 times now. And they now said that although individual customers buy from Spicy stores, look at it. So please listen. Individuals buy from Spicy stores, franchises, or online. Again, this means that this is trying to picture how spices sells, the extent to which spices sells. That is what I feel that is emphasizing on, the extent to which the company sells. Okay. So they talked about the business structure, this customer distribution. I think I've mentioned those things. And they also said that the company that the manufacturing company supplies these products internally and externally. So it's either they supply to the customer sales and distribution department that then distribute to the stores, the franchises, and all that. And they also distribute externally to corporate clients and supermarket and hypermarket. Now, another thing I could read from here is that there could be a scenario whereby they might want to know whether they should continue to just focus on selling internally and stop selling externally. Maybe the external sales are not that profitable. So they might want to know whether they should continue to sell internally or to continue to sell externally, or to do both. To continue to do both, right? Or continue to do both. They might want to know. Okay, okay, okay. Then here they said Spicy currently has 30 of its own stores. 30 of its own, so I've made mention of them. I'm just emphasizing it again. And 20 franchises. It has also developed its own website. We all know that website is the new thing. When you sell, there is that possibility to sell to so many Nigerians when you are selling online. That's what they are trying to emphasize here, right? That's what they are trying to emphasize there, and all this information and this and this and this. I'm not interested in all those things, right? So that is the end of exhibit number 2. That is the end of exhibit number 2. Any question? Any question? Any question on exhibit number 2? Any question? No question on exhibit number 2. No question at all. All right. There's no question on exhibit number 2. I think we can then move on to exhibit number 3. Exhibit number 3. Okay. So I will read quickly. The confectionery market. The confectionery market. So in addition to that exhibit number 2, so in the class we talked about the background information. You can pick the background information from exhibit number 2. We also talked about if there is business analysis and there is need for you to talk about the overview of the business, the background of the business. You can also pick from that exhibit number 2. So exhibit number 3, confectionery market. So here is about the confectionery market. They said confectionery refers to food items with a relatively high sugar and carbohydrate content. Confectionery has a variety of flavorings, colorings, and other components that give them their distinct taste, texture, and appearance. The global confectionery market has been put at 210.3 billion in 2019 and is projected to increase to 270.5 billion in 2027, which represents a compound annual growth rate of about 3.6%. Chocolate segment had the highest confectionery market share in that 2019 report. According to the confectionery market analysis, the market is segmented into the basis of product type, age group, price point, and distribution channel as follows. Product type. The market is categorized into chocolate confectionery, ice cream, preserved pastry goods, and cakes and sugar confectionery. Age group. The market is classified into children, adults, and geriatric. Price point. The market is distributed into economic, mid-range, and luxury. Distribution channel. The market is divided into supermarket, hypermarket, convenience stores, pharmaceutical and drug stores, food services, duty-free outlets, e-commerce, etc. On the basis of product type, the chocolate category was the dominant segment in 2019 with about 35.2% market share. This is because all consumer age groups do consume chocolate confectionery in order to satisfy their taste buds. The growth in economic prosperity, especially in emerging countries, has also driven the demand for chocolate segment. Furthermore, chocolate is the highest per capita consumed confectionery product across several countries. However, it is now projected that the new medicated confectionery segment will grow at a faster rate during the forecast period of 2021 to 2027. This increase, however, is prevalence of minor ailments. It's because of minor ailments and over-the-counter medications or dietary supplements that requires active ingredients such as antacid, vitamins, and NABA extra. Please let me take that again. The increase in prevalence of minor ailments and over-the-counter medications or dietary supplements requires active ingredients such as antacid, vitamins, and herbal extract. This product will propel the growth of medicated confectionery segment. Also, the rapid growth in geriatric population in the next 10 years is anticipated to be a driver of the market growth for the medicated confectionery segment. However, the Nigerian confectionery market has been projected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of about 9.8% over the analysis period of 2021 to 2027, which is more than the global growth rate. In terms of revenue, which is issued by Strategic Ellis, a data analytic company, the key factors that are responsible for this market growth are the increasing availability of different varieties of candies and chocolate, and the rise in trend of gifting confectionery, and also rising disposable income. The Nigerian confectionery market is segmented on the basis of products and distribution channel as follows. By product, it is divided into chocolate confectionery, gum and sugar confectionery, and by distribution channel, the confectionery market is divided into hypermarket and supermarket, convenience stores, specialty retailers, online retailing, etc. The constantly evolving consumer habit, taste, and preferences have also led to innovations in the confectionery market, which is the driver of its market growth. Manufacturers are increasing their product ranges by including functional ingredients, organic herbal fillings, tropical fruit, and nut-based and exotic flavors in product formulation to meet changing consumer demand. Furthermore, the trend of gifting confectionery products such as cookies, chocolate, bakery items, and others has also propelled market growth in recent years. Brands are now constantly establishing unique, engaging techniques to seek consumer attention as confectionery products are significantly purchased as a result of impulse buying. These factors have cumulatively driven the market for confectionery products. However, the volatile nature of raw materials prices of sugar and cocoa can hamper the growth of the market. COVID-19 and the subsequent lockdown in 2020 had severe impact on the confectionery market. This impact has been felt from two dimensions as follows. Differential impact on raw material supply, such as agricultural produce, food ingredients, and intermediate food, trade and logistics, demand and supply volatility, uncertain consumer demand also affected the workplace at the industrial level, and sales decline as a result of reduced gifting and impulse buying among consumers across the globe. That is the end of exhibit number 3. So let me allow 2 to 3 individuals to contribute to make their contributions before I ask the other tutors to make their own contributions.
Well done, sir.
Thank you, sir. Please, can you reduce the volume of the sound in the background?
Where am I? They are doing something far away. That's why I put a earpiece on my ear.
Okay,
So
let's
there
see
is
if we
no way I
can
can
pick
reduce it.
something from here. No
Please.
problem. Let's see if we can
So
pick
the only thing
something
I
from
can say is that the only thing I want to contribute, where I want to contribute is that there is a key factor that is responsible for the growth of that product at the market, which is increasing availability of different variety of candies and chocolates. So is the one that majorly contribute to the income or revenue of the company. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that contribution. Any other contribution?
Ṣé ẹ ti gbọ́ pé wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ lábẹ́nú báyìí? Pébi tí mo wà yẹn.
Yeah, no problem. Any other contribution, please? Onyi.
Yeah, good evening, everybody.
Good evening. You're welcome.
Thank you. So, my contribution is that the Spicy has the goal to, their goal is to actually meet everybody's need. They are not just particular about a particular set of the citizen. Like what I am trying to say is their focus is both for the children, the adults alike. So that's what I want to say.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Any other contribution? Chiamaka, go on.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so from what I've observed, Exhibit 3 is talking about the industry market, right? And from a paragraph where they said, however, it's projected, because from the case study, one of the responsibility of the person that's going to write the report, is to actually review my focus
on the place in the industry.
Yeah, like exactly. My focus is more on hospitality industry, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Hello. So from my observation, Exhibit 3, I saw where they wrote, however, it's projected that, because initially my confusion was sugar does not relate to anything about hospitality industry. But when I noticed Exhibit 3, and they were saying, however, it's projected that the medicated conventional segment will grow. So I feel that place is very important as regards to our case, and how it's not just focusing the market, because the thought of confectionery market is more of sugar. So it's that particular paragraph kind of changed the mindset that the market is not just looking at just the sugar part. They are trying to make healthy confectionery products, and I feel that should relate to the hospitality industry. That's my observation.
Okay, thank you, Chiamaka, for that fantastic contribution. God bless you so much. Thank you. Any other contribution?
Sorry, please. I want to ask a question.
Okay.
I wanted to ask that this segment, this market segment, and this product type and all, does it have any business analysis that is related to?
Any business analysis as how?
That is related to product type, age group, price points. I don't know, I'm just asking, or this market segment.
Market segment. Anyway, I can say maybe let me say I don't even understand the question to start with.
Okay.
Can you rephrase the question? I didn't get the question.
I don't know how to rephrase it. Like, what I'm trying to say is that can they ask any question on
business analysis question
based on this information that has to do with market segments and product type?
Yes, that is possible. That is a possibility. That is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. That is very possible. 100%. That is possible. Thank you. Thank you for the question. Any other contribution? No. Okay. So, the lecturers, what can you say? Let me hear your side too. Hello.
Okay, since Mr. Isaac is not here, let me go first. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Go on.
Okay, all right. So the exhibit highlights the products that the spicy confectionaries offers the market, the different product types, then the market segments. So the students should pay attention to this market segment, because what you are seeing here, although we've not gone to exhibit 4 yet, but what you may likely see in your exam may not be the same figures or the same financials you are seeing here, because this may be just the total of these different products that sum up to give us these totals you are seeing here. So I assume that if they give us, or if they give you these same figures in your exam, this may be too easy for you, because some students will even go to compute ratios, cram the figures. So the total that you have here may just be a total of the different segments. So what you may likely see in your exam may be those segments. Now you may be asked to maybe evaluate their financial performance or whatever they ask you, as the case may be. But I just want you to pay attention to these segments where this business operates. And also your ratio analysis or whatever analysis you are carrying out, you need to have factors to back either increase or decrease up. If there is an increase in sales, what caused the increase in sales? You can see here that the Nigerian confectionery market has been projected to grow at a certain rate over the period under review from 2021 to 2027. You can see that your financial statements under your exhibit 4 starts from 2021. So obviously 2022 is there, and they may likely give you either 2023 or 2024, or whatever they give you. So you may, if there is an increase in sales in your financial statement analysis, you can then attribute that. In fact, they've even mentioned the factors that are causing the growth in sales. They've mentioned, due to different varieties of candies and chocolates, rise in trend of gifting, confectionery, and rising disposable income. So you can link the growth to these factors. That these are the possible factors that has made the sales to grow and stuff like that. So that's all I have for this exhibit. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paul, for that fantastic and brilliant contribution you have just made. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Isaac, are you still with us?
I think he is no longer here. Maybe he was thrown out.
Okay. Okay. All right then. All right then. So, to start with, this is the industry information that relates to Spicy Confectionery Limited. This is the industry information. And we are also given the information about the global industry as well as the local industry. In any case, it is expected that the the anything that affects any information given to you about the industry will affect the complaint directly. It will affect the complaint directly. So that is one thing you should understand, which add to the comment made by Mr. Paul the other time, that uh, these factors that they have talked about will also have impact on the on the on spicy. It will have impact on spicy. So the only thing I would try to add to this is that um, so they said that it is projected that the medicated confectionery segment will grow. So it means this is a new product that is coming to the market in the nearest future. In the nearest future, and we might have to advise Spicy to also key into this, possibly to possibly to send this to its what do you call it, the scientists in the lab, so that they can start producing this product. And the reason they said that would be the case is because of the minor ailments that are coming up because of the consumption of possibly the conventional products. So they want to have some other product that people can have as alternative to the conventional product that have lots of sugars, right? Right. So that is why the medicated conventional product is coming. So we might have to tell your client that they should key into that, so that they can also sell that. Possibly the change that is the global. I think that is happening in the global stage. So in the local scenario now, so they might be the first person to have that. They market it so that they can also share in selling this new product that is just entering the market. That's just entering the market. So that is a point I want to make. And they also said that the local annual growth rate is about 9.8%. So we should expect Spicy to be growing at this, at least on a minimum. Spicy should also be growing at this rate. They should be growing at this rate. Okay? Spicy should be growing at this rate. So we should expect that. Then they also talked about the um, let me see. The constantly evolving consumer habit, taste, and preferences have led to innovation in the confectionery market. So if this is the case, then they can again they can tap into the medicated confectionery product to, so that possibly the changes in the global market will reflect on the local uh, market, where the Nigerian you know the Nigerian market will also start demanding for the medicated confectionery product. So again, we might we might have to advise um, our clients to key into that, to key into that, to key into that. Yes, that is all I want to add. So I don't know if there is any question from the if there is any question.
Yes, good evening, sir. There's a question I want to ask.
Okay.
Okay, it's just a kind of an overview from the beginning of Spicy Confectionery. Are you listening, sir?
I'm with you. I'm with you. Go on.
Okay, let me take it from exhibit 2 to exhibit 3. I'm trying to relate it. I thought hospitality industry has to do with like tourism services and other things. Really, hospitality industry, where I really get it very well is this exhibit 2, where the confectionery refers to food items, which we can relate to the hospitality industry. But relating to some kind of medical products, it's trying to
Hello?
Hello?
I lost you for a second.
This
Oh, your network is kind of not okay right now.
Was Exhibit 2, I could not really got it. And from Exhibit 2, I could not really get the targeted explanation. It was when we got to Exhibit 3, where I can see some confectionery that are into confectionery food items. So I really want to know, does this hospitality industry, does it also related to food items only?
Does it relate to food items only?
Yeah,
Please, what do you mean by does it relate to food items only? Does it mean that they only sell confectionery products like chocolate, candies, and all that?
No, we are told, you understand, from the beginning that they are into it's a kind of they are into hospitality industry, and naturally, hospitality industry has to do with hotels, tourism services, restaurants, and all. But from the exhibit I'm seeing here, I'm not seeing that from the Exhibit 2. But coming to Exhibit 3 is where I only see food items. So I'm just kind of confused here. But it's really an hospitality industry. So I want to substantiate more.
So I think the information given is very clear. It states that the kind of thing they do in the hospitality industry is they based on confectionery products. Simple. So they only focus on confectionery products. Other part of the hospitality industry could be tourism, could be restaurants, could be what have you. But what your client in this case is based on, focus on, is production of confectionery products. I hope I've answered that question. That should not cause any question. Any other question? Any other question? No, right? Okay. No, okay. All right. Thank you. So I want to believe the Exhibit 3 is okay. So let's move to Exhibit 4. Now, in the Exhibit 4, we have the summarized financial statements for Spicy. Okay, we have the summarized financial statement for Spicy, and like you all know that, like we have done in the class, the first step in financial analysis is to interpret the financial statement that you have before you, right? To interpret it. So, and let me say it here clearly that one of the major skill that you must pick out, you must pick out from this case study class, is your ability to interpret financial statement. I mean, not until to interpret financial, it's not until when you start computing ratios. When you pick a financial statement like this, you should be able to make sense out of the figures that you have in the statement. So I want you to look at this statement and see possible questions, possible interpretations you could come up with in the statement before I allow Mr. Paul to take over from here. Okay, so I want you to make a comment on the financial statement. Okay, all right. Who is going first? Who is going first?
Yes, sir. I want to go first. Hello, sir.
All right.
Are you hear me, sir?
Okay, sir. Okay, go on.
Okay. If we
yes,
study
I can hear you. Go on.
Okay, if we study the financial statement very well, we can see that there is increment in the revenue from 1,635 million to 1,7 94.6 in 2022. Also, there is an increment in cost of sales, gross profit, let me say there is increment in all the figures in income statement. There's increment, both the cost and the revenue, include the profits. So also in the statement of financial position, there's also increment in all the assets side and there is a decrease in the liability side. There is decrease in the liability side. Only the deferred tax is constant. So, sir, that is what I can observe in the financial statement and the financial position of the spices, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Chiamaka. Chiamaka.
Yes, sir. So, from what I'm seeing in the income statement, can you hear me properly? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
We can hear you. Continue.
Go on.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Hello, I can hear you. Go on. Go on.
So what I'm seeing in the income statement from the income tax expense, from the finance expense rather, from 2021 it was 47.5, then it reduced to 44.3, and I would say that okay, maybe it's because if you check the year, they reduced their short-term loan, and I believe if the short-term loan was if the short-term loan decreased, that means the payment, the interest they would have been paying would have reduced. That's one thing I observed. Then another one I observed was that their cash increased. But I had to question, if their cash was increasing, why is it that their payables kept on increasing when they could actually use the cash to actually write off some of the payables? But I would believe that maybe because I checked, the assets kept on increasing. So I would presume that instead of them to be paying payables, they said to invest in more assets. That's what I can see. Also, the receipt actually, I believe there's a possibility that, okay, if the receivables were increasing, they wanted to use that receivables to slash the payables. That's like some of the things I'm observing in it, but I'm wondering why the payables are still high. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Shoba Shuyi.
Hi, good evening, sir. My name is Sonia anyway.
Okay.
My observation is there are much anyway, but I will just have to pick 3. I'll pick the revenue. I'll pick the income tax expenses. Okay, let me go let me go one after the other. Based on what we've read about Spicy Confectionery, and seeing the revenue generated from 2021 to 2022, it was really not encouraging, as a high quality complaint of that nature. When we begin to look at the change process, that's the percentage change in this income variety, in terms of their years, we could see that for revenue between 2021 to 2022, it was just 159,000. Just imagine, divide it by 12 months. We are getting like 20,000 naira monthly. We've incurred expense, cost of sales, marketing, distribution expenses, administration costs. So to me, on a long run thing, I don't think they will do well. They will be operating at loss. You get? And on the other part, in the income tax expenses, now it means they've grown very well in income in their tax remittances. What happened? As a limited company, looking at the revenue generated or the profit generated, I don't think they've actually made up to 25 million. It means they are, what's it called? They've not actually, harnessed their areas of tax, in quotes, because there are some incentives that small companies that I know they benefit, of which I cannot say all of that today. Okay, there are areas I also like, as in, I'm concerned about. Like Chiamaka has rightly said on the cash and cash equivalent. Fine, it actually increased. Why is it that there are debtors, are payables? Why are payables are there, are receivables are there? If we could, actually make an analysis of all these things, I found out that is like a account window dressing, or is there any other name? Yeah, there are names like accounts. They actually window dress these accounts for people to see that they're actually doing well. But on a landscape, I don't think they will survive if necessary steps are not really taken. That's my little observation, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your observation. Thank you so much. Any other observation? Any other observation? Any other observation? Okay, no. Oh, okay. So, you have Chiamaka and the other person have made fantastic comments. So the only thing that we had here is that, so if you look at this account very well, if you look at the revenue in 2021, it means that the company only made about 1.6 million in 2021, right? 1.6 million in 2021 and 1.7 million in 2022. And from what we have read, we were told that the company now have about 20 outlets, 30 different stores in maybe 15 in Abuja, 15 in Lagos, and 20 franchises. They sell in these places. They also sell to corporate organizations. They sell to retailers. They sell to supermarkets, hypermarkets. They also sell online. And as such, and they could only realize 1.6 million in 2020.
Sir.
million in 2022. Expenses. If you look at they pay just 75,000 and 1,000 naira in 2022. Top rated individuals in the company, and they pay them high. They pay them what is expected of them to get as pay in that industry. So the point I'm trying to make is that this account does not match the information we have read so far. I mean, that is my own perspective. That is how I see it. So there is possibility of window dressing, just like Chiamaka rightly said the other time. There is possibility of window dressing, possibly for them, possibly they are trying to look for ways. They are trying to look for ways to manage their tax. Maybe that is one of the ways they want to manage their tax. So they are window dressing the account so that they look so small, so that they won't be paying so much tax, right? In the so that is what I want to add. So I will leave the floor open for Mr. Paul to see anything he has for us. Chief Paul.
Yes, I'm
Hello,
here.
sir.
Can you hear me, sir? Okay.
Hello, well done.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, so I'll share my screen shortly. Allow me to share. Please confirm you can see my screen, please.
I see it, sir.
All right, so basically your financial statement analysis or your financial analysis, either you are doing financial statement analysis or financial data analysis, but what we have here, the information we have is what we enable us to do financial statement analysis. So basically, you'll be doing either ratio analysis or trend analysis, any of these two, or maybe both, yeah. So I've done some ratios here. I want to say that what I've done is not what you will see in your exam. You may see it, you may not see it. So it's just a guide or a refresher to refresh your memory on the ratios that you are already familiar with. These are things that you know. So this is just to guide you or to refresh your memory. And then at the same time, as you are doing this analysis, you need to be able to interpret what you've done. So remember, the exhibit contain information about the industry and about the company. So if any ratio here is negative or is not speaking well about the company's performance, you can interpret it by linking it to the factors or the factor that you must have seen in one of the exhibits. So these ratios here represent the company's performance. So I did some profitability ratios here. I did gross profit margin, and from the financial statements, you can see that the company's gross profit in 2021 was 734. So it was 734, and then the gross profit in 2022 was 855.4. So when you do the gross profit margin, you can see that there was a growth. So gross profit in 2021, that's the margin, was 44.89%, while that in 2022 was 47.66%. Remember, we are working with the information that we have in the pre-scene. So basically, the company's gross profit is affected by cost of sales. So you will be wondering, why is the gross profit increasing? Why is the margin increasing from 44.89% to 47.66%? The reason, maybe the factors could be that maybe the cost of sales, it has reduced. That's why the margin has gone up. But remember, you must always have something to back up your figures. You can't just do ratios and leave it like that. You need to interpret it, because you need to show that you know what you are doing. And the net profit margin for 2021 was 24.12%, and that of 2022 was 26.47%. So this also implies growth. This, as you can see, there is a growth here. So what are the factors that led to this growth in the net profit margin from 24.12% to 26.47%? We've discussed these factors in the other exhibits. Some of them are contained in Exhibit 3, some in Exhibit 2. So, but you should always, at all times, try to interpret your ratios, try to interpret what you've done, and link it to the factors that are contained or that are there in the question. Don't just assume that the thing is just like that. No, you need to try and convince the examiner that you know what you are doing. The return on capital employed for 2021 was 34.33%, while that's for 2022 it's 37.16%. You know the formulas, you know how that is calculated. So I'm not going to do all the formulas and all that. The most important thing for me is you should know how to interpret this at this level. So then I did cost of sales to revenue. So the cost of sales to revenue, and then the marketing expenses to revenue, all the expenses that we've incurred. So this is showing the portion of the profit that this cost has taken. So, for instance, the cost of sales to revenue here is 55.10%. So that means that the cost of sales has, when you spread it by the revenue, right, it has reduced the revenue by this percentage. If not for cost of sales, revenue would have been 100%, right? So the cost of sales has impacted the revenue. It has reduced it, which gave us the gross profits that we use to calculate the gross profit margin. This is applicable to the marketing expenses. This is also applicable to the admin expenses as well as the finance costs. Then, before I go on, I want to know if you have any question. I'm trying to be brief because this is something that you know. The emphasis here for me is on interpretation, not even the calculation. So if you have any question, let me know.
Mr. Paul, I would like to ask. I thought we were made to understand that pre-scene, the information in pre-scene does not change. We're supposed to link it to now the information we get in unseen. So when you said something about students cramming the solutions before entering and just going into download, and they could decide to change certain things. It's not like I don't understand that part. What I'm just saying is, if with pre-scene, you've given us an idea of what ratios we should go compute based on information we have at hand.
Yeah.
We should be able to walk into the hall with that confidence that, okay, these ratios are what we're working with to solve whatever it is we're going to see with unseen, and link it and do what is necessary and prepare the report. If you say there is a change, is it that these things now will be of no relevance to us when we get to the hall?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So what I've said is the ratios you are seeing will be the same, but the figures may change. The reason is this may be for the company as a whole. Remember, I mentioned the different segments that they operate in. So you may be asked to evaluate the company's performance using those segments. So if you are using those segments, they will give you information for those different segments. So the ratios you are computing will be based on the information contained there for those segments, not this total that you are seeing here. For instance, in November 2023, last year, the information for the pre-scene was for the company, the group, should I say group? Yeah. So when it was time for exam, what was there was for the 3 different strategic business units. Candidates were not asked to evaluate the company's performance as a whole. The candidates were asked to evaluate the performance of the company using those strategic business units. So the ratios that the students learned prior to the exam were the same, but the figures were not the same.
Okay,
Because
thank you very much. That's understood.
Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right. Any other question, please? All right, let's move on to
Mr. Paul.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening.
I want to confirm this figures. The figures that we're going to input on our appendices.
100% correct.
Okay. And where do we interpret it? Is it on under the subsection of the professional tools and knowledge?
So in your requirement 1, you have your 8 basic skills that you are going to use, right? I hope by now you should know them. So you need to know that the appendix or whatever information you have at the back is not useful if you don't interpret it, right? So you need to interpret what you've done in your main report. That's where the interpretation will take place. In your main report, the body of your report will contain this. So the use of data and information is one of them. You can.
Your friend now.
Sorry. So use of data and information is one area you can bring your ratios in. You say the company's performance was so and so. The gross profit margin in 2021 was 44.89%. I'm now using what I have here. Why it was 47.66% in 2022, something like that. But what I'm saying is interpretation will take place in your report, the body of your report, either for requirement 1 or requirement 2. Have I answered your question, please?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any other question,
Sorry.
please?
Yes, Mr. Paul.
Yes, please.
Okay. On this, is it profit? Please, can you scroll up, please?
Okay. Like this?
Okay. No. Yeah. Fine. This return on capital employed, that you use net profits over capital employed. I was thinking it's supposed to be, I don't know, because everybody has different version. I'm just like, okay, which one to use? I was thinking it was profit before interest and tax. That's the profit we had to use to like compute this return on capital employed. Seeing this one now, I don't know. I'm confused. Just need your take on it.
So the profit I used was profit before income tax. That's what I used. Worked very well.
No, I'm suggesting I think we should add the finance expenses to the profit. So that's your profit
I
before
know,
interest and tax.
Sayed.
Sorry? Someone else wanted to say something or what?
I said I'm speaking in respect of what she just said. That
what?
I'm also supporting what she said. That the profit we are to use is profit before interest and tax. That means the finance expenses should be added to the profit before income and profit before income tax, and to get our profit before interest and tax.
So the version you are using, or whatever version you are using, it's simple. So I want you to understand that case study is not one-sided, and you are not restricted, but you must follow the principle. So whatever you are using, you need to state it, and then you need to, clarify that this is what you've used in your interpretation, right? So whether you are doing profit before interest and tax, or profit after tax, or whatever you are using, you need to justify it. It's as simple as that.
Hello, sir.
Any other question? Yes, please.
Not really a question, like kind of a request. I know
Okay.
it's the requirement might be differ from what we are doing here, as a case may be, but I think this serves like a guide to help us answer the question next week Thursday. And so can we add this your solving sent to the group so we could able to go through it over and over again and all of that? I don't know if that will make some sense.
Of course, it will. That's not a problem. That shouldn't be a problem. That wouldn't be a problem at all. Any other question, please, or any other request? All right. I assume there is none. So let's move to the trend analysis. So basically, the trend is for this one is simple because we have just 2 years, right? But of course, you're going to have at least 1 more year. So you have like 3 years in your exam to deal with. So you can see from here that, just like you said, some students mentioned earlier that the revenue changed, the revenue increased. If you look at these items, you see that the only thing that did not grow, did not increase here, is the finance expenses. It dropped from 47.5 to 44.3. You can see every other thing here is growing. Revenue grew from 1635 to 1794, representing a 9.76% change. Then cost of sales also grew by 4.23%. Also, the gross profits grew by 14.14%. Remember, this growth in revenue, remember what I said earlier when we were looking at the third exhibit, that you can link this growth to the factors that are stated in that exhibit. So the marketing and distribution expenses also grew by 14.91%. All the expenses except finance expenses, which dropped from 47.5 to 44.3, representing a 7.22% decline, while the profit before income tax grew from 394.5% to 475.2%, representing 16.98%. And then income tax, you can see that there is high increase in tax is so much, from 22.1% to 55.9%. That's a lot. So the difference is about 60.46% increase, from 21.1 to 55.9. That's a whole lot. What do you think may be the cause of this high increase in tax? Is it that they are not paying taxes, Is this accumulated tax or what? Please, 5 minutes because we don't have so much time. Can we, because this is one of the things you can, point out, because all the indices here, the increment here, all of them, they are between 0 to 17%, and then this income tax has shot up. It has gone up to as high as 60.46%. So why is it that high?
Sir, Nathan?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I think the reduction in interest, that's the finance cost, contributed, considering that finance cost is tax exempted. So as a result of the reduction, the profit increased, and in the same way, the tax liability equally increased.
Okay. Any other person, please? Thank you for that wonderful contribution. Any other person? Okay. So, okay,
Hello, sir.
someone wants to say
Hello.
something.
Can I say something?
All
I
right.
think maybe the company does not invest in not current assets, so they don't have any capital allowance to claim, so they can make them to have to claim on it in their tax. So maybe in this 2022, they have already claimed all their capital allowance in 2021. So in 2022, there is no any no allowance for them to claim to reduce their tax liability.
Okay.
So if you check the balance sheet, you can see if there is any increase in non-current assets.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Can I add my own contribution, sir?
Sure, you can.
I think the company did not, from the look of things, they did not engage the service of a tax consultant in helping them to plan their taxes. Because if you check their gross profit in the year 2022, it was 855.4. And the expenses also is not ordered to relatively high from 2021 to 2022.
Okay.
So I think they should work on, and the margin from 2021 to 2022 as regard to profit before income and tax is high. So that will relatively cause their increment in tax expenses. But they should engage the service of a tax consultant who help them to take advantage of every tax loopholes to reduce their tax liability.
Okay. Can anyone remember that first exhibit that talks about your responsibilities? It says advising your clients on their strategic tax planning strategies for optimal tax liabilities. Can you remember that part? It's in Exhibit 1.
Okay.
Yes. So if you look at the other diets, you won't see this particular responsibility there. Like Exhibit 1 will usually give you a list of your responsibilities. You won't see this particular one there. So it's like it's a new thing. So I'm now wondering, with this development, with this tax thing being high here, is there something about tax that these people are not doing right that you need to advise them? So what could that be? But the pre-scene did not give us information about that. So I'm just thinking you may need to keep that in mind in case you see it. So you may want to revise your standards on taxes, on income taxes. Do you understand, please?
Yes. Sorry, please, I want to ask a question.
Okay.
This trending analysis, are we to do all this trend analysis, all this, or we are just to pick revenue, pick cost of sales, or just are we to do all this, even all this one you have done like this in the exam?
No, you mustn't do it the way I've done it. So you have a requirement. I don't have any requirement. I just did for all of it, all of them, so that you understand from the beginning to the end. So you will have, they will give you you'll be asked to do a particular task. They will specify what you are asked to do. So if they don't specify, you may choose to do it like this. But if they are specific, you need to stick to what the requirement says, because the examiner will tell you what to do. So if you have what you are asked to do, you follow it and do it.
And on this, that ratio analysis, please, can you go up? That ratio analysis. Yes, the other ratio analysis. Okay, maybe because they didn't give us requirement here, that's why you have to do it like this. Looking at the marketing expenses against revenue, admin. So I thought there's a lot of other ratio analysis that we should have.
Of course, there are many others. Liquidity ratios.
So depend on the requirement. That's why we.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so let me emphasize again that what you can see here may not be 100%, may not be, maybe it may be, but it may not be. It's a matter of 50-50. So you may see something like this exactly in your exam, or you may not. But the most important thing is that you should follow the principle always, and always interpret your ratios. So don't just work calculations and leave the thing there. No, interpret it and make it meaningful. Let it be meaningful, so that the examiner will know what you are doing. And then also pay attention to small details, because from the past diets, it's possible that they will give you all of this information, and in the exam you may see something that is they'll be still talking about the same thing, but they may present it. Maybe they may just change one small thing, or they may bring something new, small, in the new exhibit. That's the unseen. So you need to pay attention, like the gross profits or these financials, for instance. They may decide to bring notes to the accounts. So they now, so this cost of sales, they will give you the components of cost of sales. All these items, they may decide to bring notes to the account in the exam and give you the components of these items. You will now be required to, treat the notes or do a particular task that has to do with the note to the account. So even if they do that, I want to believe this is something you are already familiar with, and you shouldn't be carried or thrown off. You should still focus and just master the principle, and you'll be good. And also know where you are going to interpret your ratios or whatever analysis you've done. Remember, it's going to be in your report, your main report. That is where your analysis will be. You do your interpretation there and write that this ratio or this was as a result of this factor. Always link it to the factors that are in the question, the industry information that you have, the information about the company. Always relate it. It makes sense. Sorry, who is that? So, do you have any other question? Any other question, please?
Yes, Mr. Paul.
Yes, please.
For emphasis and confirmation.
Can hardly hear you.
How do I identify? Can you hear me, please?
Yes, better now.
Okay. I said for emphasis and confirmation.
Yeah.
how do we identify? How do you identify your requirements?
Okay. Thank you very much. I want to throw or refer you back to your report structure. I want to believe you've been attending classes, and the report structure given to you by my colleague, Mr. Lekon, the lead tutor. I want to believe you have it, and you've taken a case review before. You've reviewed a case before, so your requirement will come in form of an email. It will be maybe Exhibit 6, Exhibit 7, that I don't know. But it will be in the form of an email from the person you are reporting to, requesting you to draft a report for his review. Can you hear me, please? So your boss,
Yes, go on.
the
Go
person
on.
you
Yes,
are
sir.
reporting to, will ask you to draft a report for his review, and that report should contain then what you need to do will be stated there. I think I will allow Mr. Lekon to throw more light on that.
Okay, I think you have answered the question. You have answered the question. You just have to pay attention to the information given to you, the remaining exhibits that will come your way. So, but there will be a particular exhibit that will be instructing you on what to do, right? It will be instructing you, and it will likely want to say that these are the things that you should do. One, say one, do this and this and this and this and this and this. Then two, do the following and the following and the following. So in nutshell, you should just be aware of a particular exhibit that will state clearly what you are to do as regards your client in the case. Okay, and it will also tell you that you should draft a report for maybe for his review that should be addressed to the board of directors of the company, or so and so. So that is how to identify case study requirements. Okay, so there's a question here sent by Kingsley. The question was sent by Kingsley, and I won't answer the question directly because I think we have done justice to the analysis already. I mean the precinct already. So the question reads thus: I don't think the hospitality thing concerns spicy confectionaries. John's responsibilities in general do not necessarily apply to all of his firm's clients. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you have anything to say to this.
Yeah, is it me, sir?
Yes, now.
Of course I have.
Okay,
So
all right.
I want to believe that candidate or that student is on this call, and what I want to say is that Jones, he has every responsibility. In fact, that spicy confectionaries is their client. Remember that the person that John is reporting to is the partner in charge of the hospitality group within the firm. So I don't know how they are looking at the hospitality in this case, but as far as I'm concerned, this company, Spicy Confectionaries Limited, they offer products that speak to hospitality, because you must not be operating a hotel, or it mustn't be a hotel before it will be hospitality. So they've stated clearly that this company operates in that industry, and the partner in charge of that industry is who you are reporting to. So whatever responsibility he assigns to you is what you do. You are not the one to determine or tell him that this is what you tell me I want to do. he is the one to assign responsibilities to you, and they've mentioned some of the responsibilities that you may be required to do. So any of them can come in your exam. So any of them that comes in your exam means that it's you are just executing your task. You are just carrying out your responsibilities. So arguing that the company is not in the hospitality industry, for me, it's not what we should be looking at, because the case is already here. So arguing that it's not hospitality means you're arguing with ICANN, you know. So I don't know, but that's what I think.
All right, thank you, Mr. Paul, for your answers. I don't think I have anything to say to that. Okay, I think that is fine. All right, we have Onye raising up her hand. Please go on.
Okay, so I don't know, it's just my thinking though. Is it possible?
Go on, sorry.
Okay. Is it possible that that definitely we know that the Spicy is a hospitality company? What if this confectionery is just like a business unit? Can that be a possibility? Did you get my question, sir? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So could that be a possibility
You are
that
audible.
Yeah. Is
Yes.
there a possibility that Spicy Confectionery Limited is like a business unit? Like not the spicy, I mean the parts where they do the chocolates and sweets, the confectionaries. Is it possible that it's a business unit to a bigger hospitality company, more like?
Okay, from the exhibits we have just from the precinct that we have just read, right? The precinct is very clear. There's no ambiguity in it. There is only Spicy Confectionery Limited, possibly a small company that has grown over the years and has two divisions. Well, maybe you can call the divisions some kind of business unit to the company, anyhow you want to call it, but e operates as a company with two divisions. One division which produces and the other division sells, right? So the notion that is Spicy a business unit to some other bigger company, fine. Me, I can't say the precinct does not state that, so I don't want to believe that is the case. However, I don't know. There is possibility that maybe the examiner who have the pen to write and unwrite the case can do that in the unseen. But for what we have now, there is Spicy. Spicy operates two different divisions: the manufacturing and the selling division. Okay. Do we have any other question before I call on Mr. Isaac to see if within 20, 10 to 15 minutes, if he has anything to add to the class? Any other question, contribution, addition, subtraction, whatever? Who is this raising up his hand? Okay. Oh yeah, go on.
Okay, good evening. Can you hear
You're
me?
welcome. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so there's something I noticed, an observation I noticed, and I don't know, it could serve as a question. So, from the pre-scene, the part that has to do with the income tax expense, because the question says that we should be knowledgeable about accounting and tax very well. So, Paul raised Mr. Paul raised this issue. He notified something that the increment in tax from 2021 to 2022 was very high. And I was wondering that could it be because of COVID period? There was like a decline. Even the question says that in COVID there was a decline in like the customers' taste and demands. So, knowing that tax is usually paid on a preceding year basis, the tax for 2021 is actually what was made in 2020 when there was like low demand. And then the tax for 2022 that is there is what was paid for 2021. I don't know whether that's actually was there or that's like actual tax. I mean, that's provision for tax. That's the thing. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Can it be clarified? Because there's also something I was also wondering. The company made like their revenue is just 1 million something. It's not up to 25 million. I mean, what kind of tax are they even paying? I mean, that's what I want to get clarification on. What tax are they paying for them to have that high increment and also, I mean, they're not making enough revenue. It's a very low revenue based on what they're paying as tax.
Okay, thank you, Nkem, for that question. Oga Paul, please answer the question, please.
Okay, yeah, thank you, sir. So I think I'll relate it to the window dressing you spoke about earlier, because just like she mentioned, if they are paying that amount of tax on the small profit that they have, it means something is wrong somewhere. So it's possible that maybe this account is not correct, or they did window dressing to reduce their profits so that they reduce their tax liability. So it's very possible that they may, I'm not sure, I'm just assuming that they may ask you to talk about this company's tax policy. They may bring some more information in your on scene about the fact that the company, maybe they are carrying out sharp practices to reduce their tax liability, and should advise them on how to apply tax laws, on how to, so that's why I mentioned income taxes earlier, that you may want to revise that, right? So you need to go back and look at it.
Okay, thank you. Nkem, do you still have any question? You have not lowered your hand before. All right, any other question? Mr. Isaac, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, do you have anything for the student before we call it a day?
Yes, quick one. Good evening, everyone. So, what I want us to take cognizance of are this. One, we have 2 years in pre-sin. We should be expecting at least 1 or 2 more in on-sin, meaning the trend analysis or ratio analysis is a combination of what you have on pre-sin and on-sin. It may be in form of trend, it may be in form of pre-sin, and it may be in form of trend or ratio analysis. So you should know that the information for pre-sin and on-sin, automatically you need to combine them together. Also, you need to cross your eye and dot your teeth. What do I mean by that is, everything you are doing, for example, in 2019, ICANN made a fundamental mistake when they are costing those plates. They wanted to write 3,005. They wrote 3.5 million. In your exam, if you notice ICANN made a mistake, do not correct ICANN. Rather, just state it there that you assume that price per plate is 3,500, not 3.5. Not that you notice that ICANN make error. No, don't state that. They've said it all. Then finally, just carefully revise everything we've taught you, what we've been discussing since. You don't need more than that to pass. Then believe in yourself and trust your instinct. There are several methods you can adopt. In case study, there is no right answer or wrong answer, but there are right approach. Just believe in yourself. Try as much as possible not to alterate or cancel anything. If you are writing one, is it £1? Is it $1? Is it one? Because you may be in a multi-currency environment. So you have to be extremely careful not to alterate. Trust yourself. Practice as many exercise. In fact, revise all the exercise, everything we've been discussing. That's all I have. So if you have any question, you can always reach out to us from now to your exam day, maybe on WhatsApp or any platform. That's all from me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Isaac, for that. So on a final note, please, I want to believe we have done justice to this precinct. I mean, the first purpose of having precinct is to familiarize yourself with the case scenario, which we have done. We have done it, and I don't believe anyone would have done this better than this, right? So we have done it fantastically well. So as individual person going into the exam, you should have a fair understanding of the case scenario by now, except yes, by now you should have a fair understanding. So I want you to pay very good attention to the requirements. I mean, the first thing is to read the unseen. Make sure you understand the unseen very well, just as we have done for this precinct. Understand the unseen very well. Maybe you read it twice, then read the precinct together with the unseen at once, making the reading 3 times if possible. So, I mean, if possible, you should do that so that you can get the overall direction of the case. Then make sure you know what the requirement is actually asking you to do. Make sure you know, you are sure. In fact, there was a way I taught you to break down the requirement so that you can know everything you need to do under that requirement. Make sure you do that. So once you get that, then you can start your report writing, maybe prepare your cover page, leave space for executive summary, you write the introduction, then start the section 1 for the requirement 1, which you have to prepare your appendix, and the appendix is largely dependent on the requirement. Please, the appendix, so you must have done the appendix before you write on the requirement 1. Once you are done with requirement 1, ensure you break down requirement 2 also, so that you are sure of what you are being asked to do. Then prepare an appendix for it and follow the technique, follow the steps that we have discussed, that I've shown to you in the class. You follow those steps, right? So I want to believe this is all we need for the exam, and I want to wish you, together with my team members, want to wish you the very best in your case study exam in this May 2024 diet. So like Mr. Isaac said the other time, if you have any question, if you have any request, if you have anything you want to request from us, you can do that on our platforms, on the WhatsApp platforms, right? All right. So thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for participating in this precinct analysis. I want to say from myself that I believe in you. I believe you know everything that you are supposed to do, and you will do it. And please remain calm. Don't be shaken when you see some students, once they see the question paper like this, their system will just get disorganized. Please don't be confident of yourself. And the other mistake most students make is when they are reading, they tend to read and understand what they want to understand. Please understand what you have been given. Understand what has been presented to you, not what you think in your mind should be. No, what you have. when you are in your own private practice, when you are maybe even when you are writing academic exam, you can do that. But please, for ICANN exam, kindly understand what ICANN has presented to you. Follow it, work with it, and do your report with it. If you do this, I'm very, very confident. I'm very, very sure that success is yours in this exam. So on behalf of the management team of Network Professional Academy and my colleagues in case study department, we want to wish you all the best in your exam. Thank you very much and good night.
Thank you, sir.